In my last video, I talked about the drugstore makeup I love that nobody else seems to talk about, but today I'm going to be sharing the drugstore products I use regularly, yet haven't shared with you despite them being staples in my routine. Specifically, I'll be talking about body care and self-care products. These are things that we all pretty much use every single day, but they don't get a lot of love on social media because they're not deemed as exciting as makeup or skincare, but they play a big part in supporting my beauty routine as a whole. This video is sponsored once again by Arc. I've spoken about them before, but I can't wait to show you what they just released at Target. So we'll get straight into that. But first, if you're new here, hi, my name is Miranda. Welcome to my channel where we talk all things budget beauty. If that sounds interesting to you, then become the newest member of the Slashed Squad by hitting subscribe and the bell icon. The first drugstore product that I use every single day, yet haven't mentioned to you, is the J.R. Watkins Awaken Creamy Body Wash. So again, body wash, it's not something that's talked a lot about on social media, but why does showering, as routine as it is, have to be boring? And this body wash is anything but boring. So it's made with coriander, bergamot, and calendula extracts, and it has a rosemary and rosewood scent. It really does remind me of like a spa fragrance. But what really impressed me with this body wash, and body wash doesn't like typically impress me all that much, but this has such a luxurious texture that I'm really surprised that it's from a drugstore brand to begin with. It's sulfate-free and also made without all of this. So the consistency straight out of the bottle is really creamy, and it does suds up to a luxurious lather that feels so good on the skin. But the reason why I love this body wash, aside from the fact that just sensory-wise it's really nice to use, is that it does feel like it moisturizes my skin in the shower, and when I get out and towel off, my skin feels hydrated and smooth. It's gentle, it doesn't leave my skin feeling stripped, which is so important when you live in the desert. And in the same line of products, they actually have these aromatherapy bath and shower tablets. I usually use them in the bath. And as this dissolves in your bath water or like at the bottom of your shower, it releases the scent for aromatherapy. It's really nice to wake up in the morning. So yeah, let's talk about bath products more. I probably use this more than I use most of the makeup in my collection. Next, I want to talk about the new toothbrush that I've been using and loving from Target. I surprisingly get a lot of comments about my teeth, so hopefully this answers some questions. And this is from today's sponsor, Arc. They let me try their new Sonic Power toothbrush before its release, and I am obsessed with it. In the past, I haven't been able to stick to using one electric or battery-powered toothbrush. There was always downsides, mostly the bulkiness, the hard to store, hard to travel with, and this is like my perfect toothbrush for my lifestyle. I absolutely love the shape. It's really lightweight and compact. It's the little design details for me, like the flat bottom, which lets it stand upright on the counter, really convenient, but it also comes with its own travel case. And again, this is not very bulky. So this would be really easy to slip into a drawer if that's how you want to store it, or to travel with. The brush head itself is also pretty compact, which is perfect for whitening and polishing the teeth, but in general, it's just been more comfortable for me to use. And it does have a built-in timer, so you'll brush for your full 2 minutes that's recommended, and it does pulse every 30 seconds to sort of remind you to switch up your positioning. So switching the positions for you. At the drugstore level, this has definitely been my favorite battery-powered toothbrush that I've tried, and I feel like there are a lot more convenient elements to it than even higher-end battery toothbrushes that I've used. Okay, so this next product, I have actually told you about it, and I have done a whole video about it, but I did want to update you because that was a couple years ago, and I'm still loving and using this product every day. This is the Crystal Mineral Deodorant Stick. This is a natural deodorant that is actually like a rock of salt. And it's the only natural deodorant that has worked really well for me. And definitely the only natural deodorant that actually works for 24 hours on me. So this is made with one ingredient, which is potassium alum, which is mineral salts. And what it does is it kills the bacteria under your arm that causes odor. It doesn't leave residue. It doesn't leave white stains on your clothing. It's so convenient and it just works for me. Like I said, I've tried switching over to natural deodorants a lot before I found this, and none of them worked. Either I had a bad reaction to them or they just didn't work, hands down. Like, I was stinky. But I switched to this 2 years ago. I used it through my boot camp workouts, through tropical vacations, and I've never experienced BO when I'm using this at least once every 24 hours. And what you do is you either get this wet or get your underarms wet. It's pretty easy to apply this like right after you get out of the shower when you're still a little damp, and then you just swipe it on like a normal deodorant. Now, I do usually swipe a little longer with this than a typical like antiperspirant, so I'd say like 15 seconds under each pit, still not anything crazy. Now, when I made the video talking about this deodorant, I was using just the packageless rock version. They do one without like the plastic, and that exact stone that I showed in that video actually lasted me all the way up until early this year when I dropped it on my bathroom floor and it shattered. Still had a lot of life in it. And considering that it costs like $6 to $8, and that was 2 years worth of deodorant plus more if I hadn't dropped it. It's budget friendly, it's natural, it's a no-brainer for me. And now I'm using the one in the twist-up packaging because I feel like this is a little bit easier for me to hold on to. So if you've ever been curious about natural deodorant, or you've tried switching to natural deodorant and it hasn't worked for you, I would definitely recommend trying this. Another product that's a little bit different from the drugstore that I have been loving and haven't mentioned to you yet is the Freeman Deep Cleansing Powder to Clay Mask. So this is literally just bentonite and kaolin clay, and you can mix it to create your own DIY beauty products and masks and treatments. This is a 100% natural product, and as you can see, it just comes in this jar. It's just the clay powder, and they recommend that you mix the powder with equal parts water or apple cider vinegar. I usually choose ACV, and you can use this as an all-over face mask. You can use it as a spot treatment. You can use it as a body mask. You can use it as an armpit detox if you're switching to natural deodorant. See where all of this is tying in? There's a lot you can do with this, but detoxing is its superpower. I can't really use it all over my face. Maybe in the summer I can when I'm oilier, but when my skin is leaning sensitive and dry, it's just a little harsh. And honestly, I wouldn't recommend leaving this on for more than 10 minutes. It says 5 to 10 minutes for delicate skin and up to 20 minutes for normal skin, but patch test first. So as you can see, I mix the clay with the ACV and I kind of just eyeball it. So once I get that texture I'm looking for, then I just go ahead and plop it on right over my zits. I've also been using this on my nose instead of pore strips. It does help to detox any blackheads that I have and just tighten up the appearance of my pores in that area. Now, as this mask dries on your face, it's going to remind you a lot of the Glam Glow mask because it's going to start drying out and sort of changing to a lighter color. After 5 to 10 minutes, I'll go ahead and use a wet cotton round to get most of it off, just so I'm not like rinsing chunks of clay down my sink, and then I'll go ahead and rinse my face with water. So I just think this is a really cool multi-purpose DIY beauty product to have on hand, and especially if you have oily skin, this will give you so many face masks with this amount of powder. Like, I've used it so many times and I still have not put a dent in it. And the last drugstore product that, again, I'm using every single night but haven't talked about is the Pacifica Lavender Moon Bedtime Lip Treatment. So this is a very intense lip mask that I like to wear to bed so that I wake up and my lips are moisturized and smooth instead of being crusty and busted. Because like I mentioned, I live in a dry climate. We're either blasting the heat or the air at any time of the year, and that wreaks havoc, especially on my lips and with all the mask wearing as well. So you can find this for about $13 at both Ulta Beauty and Target, and I have to say, I have preferred using this over my Laneige lip sleeping mask. That lip mask is very effective. It's a little expensive, but I will say that the jar lasts a while. But why I like this over that one is that this has sort of a thinner consistency that really sinks into the lips, so it's a lot more comfortable going to bed with this on. It's not getting my hair stuck to my lips. It's not smearing all over my pillow. The Laneige sleeping mask is pretty thick and tacky. The other thing about this one is that it actually doesn't have a very strong scent. Even with lavender in the name, I don't really smell a lot of anything, which is totally fine with me. It's 100% vegan and cruelty-free, and I would totally recommend this if you struggle with chapped or peeling lips all the time. So this has been a really fun find, especially because I was using a high-end lip mask all this time. And not only do I like this better, but it's a little more sustainable for my budget. Tell me in the comments, what's one drugstore essential you couldn't live without? Today's shout out goes to Gina. Thanks for being a member of the Slashed Squad. And join me over in this video next where I talk about drugstore makeup that deserves more hype. I'll see you over there. Bye!